My TC Electronic 1210 or 1210, it was dying. It's one of those things that you might not notice right away, but thankfully Michael Torin had one and I was able to compare it and you could tell like, ooh, mine's dying. I searched high and low to find someone to repair it. I'm talking like anywhere in the world I would have shipped it. No one would take it. I sent like 5 emails in a row and call and leave messages. No one would take it. No one really wants that. I think that pressure of trying to repair an old PCM 70 or TC 2290 or the 1210. In some ways, some of the parts are not available. It's probably a pain to deal with, and maybe they'll never get it back up to snuff, you know? Maybe they can't even find the service manual. So it just sat in my rack looking beautiful. And I would watch Reverb from time to time and think like, well, maybe I should just get another one. But they don't show up very often. I mean, this was one of my favorite crown jewels in my rack collection. When they do show up, now it's like $2,500, $3,000 and up, you know, for, you know, it is an analog chorus, a dual stereo analog chorus, and it's unique. It's not the Songbird or Tri-Stereo chorus. There really is nothing that does what that does. Now you could get the TC Electronic stereo chorus pedal, which sort of is like half of the 1210, and it's a great sounding pedal. It's just not the same. When you get there's a widening effect that the TC 1210 does, and when you get the two choruses going, it's a unique thing that is all over the best 80s Lukather tones and Rush and Dan Huff. I mean, all those players, you had to have an analog chorus. You know, everyone also has the H3000s. You could put a digital chorus or even the SPX 90. Great choruses, but that analog chorus is a thing, and it just transcends the digital stuff and just makes the guitar sound so big. Yeah, it's really big. So fast forward a bunch of years, and friends of Bukovac were selling off the remnants of the Dan Huff rack. And of course, that was very interesting to me, but I don't know how to fix any of that stuff. So I just watched carefully, and thankfully it went to a man named Andrew Raharo, who is like Rack Beautiful Mind. He was able to sort of reverse engineer the Dan Huff rack from the Bradshaw switching and the markings on the cable, and then he put in all this time and effort and money and rebuilt it, and then documented it every episode along the way. Like, that's what Guitar YouTube, that's what got me excited about it in the first place. And like, it's just the best. So if you are nerdy about guitar rack stuff, go watch this because it's super interesting. So I started communicating with Andrew, and he had mentioned, he was like, let me take a look at your 1210. And oh my gosh. So I just got it back from him. So I'm going to crack it open because now it's hopefully like new. Andrew also did a whole video about him going through this unit and fixing it. So I'm going to put links below to all of Andrew's stuff. Go check it out. It's great. Oh, it's back. I mean, you'll see. Look at this. It's definitely player's grade. What happened here? It had the pox or something. Maybe. I bet you it was big. You know those big bubble wraps? Big bubble wrap that ended up getting hot and melted. Wild. So, yeah, look at this. It's got like crazy amount of connections on the back. It's actually pretty complicated, but usually once you set it up, you're like, that's the sound, and it's great. Time to plug it in. Okay, so the way I'm running this is guitar, Tyler, Studio Elite, Ninja Vomit, into my BE100 into the load box, and then the load box is coming out into the TC 1210, and then I'm putting an IR in the DAW. If you go in the manual has sample settings, and back in the day, very often, either people turned everything to 10, we're like, that's the sound, I'm just gonna roll with it, or you go to the manual and you follow manually. You're looking for a chorus, this is the sound you dial up. It has these input modes in case you want to separate and use a separate chorus on each side, and then it has link modes. I'll just show you what they sound like. This sounded the best to me, and there's also this secret sort of bypass, which is super hard to tell if it's in bypass or not. It gets me every time. This is the sound I am on. I also want to show you what this guitar can do. So I'm going into a clean sound from my Friedman, and this is in the, the bridge middle setting, 2 or 4, I guess it's 2. Right, so that's fine, that's normal guitar. Now here's what's super cool about this, is with this button, I have now activated the active, it's called a mid boost, but it's actually kind of more of a bass boost, but it's an active preamp in there. And here's before, here's after. It just gets that like LA studio sound. This other button activates, I actually can't remember which it does, but when I'm in this middle setting, I'm using all 3 pickups, which was like an old David Williams trick. And that sounds like this. Here's before. Which just gets almost like more acoustic-y. There's no big resonant peaks. It's really, that's, and I haven't even got into the switches yet, but that's why Tyler's Tyler. So anyhow, back to this. That's the dry sound, right? Let's come out of bypass. I mean, that's freaking lush, man. Link mode. Cross off. Just more lush with it out. Sweep sync. More lush with it out. This like left, middle, right setting, this is the thing you see all the time in racks from Sambora and Lukather and Huavai and all the people that were using it. It's the chorus preset, so that's where they got that from. Speeding up. Let's go to another preset. Okay, going backwards to preset 1, it's a spatial expander. So here is with raw. Which I guess can be really cool if you want stereo, but you're not looking necessarily for a chorus. Preset 3 is an alternate chorus. It's really just a setting thing, so if we go to full intensity, back to our sort of studio guy setting. That's just bonkers big. Preset 4 is a doubler. Almost sounds like it has a micro pitch on it. There's a delay happening, so it feels like there's a doubling. That's a panning thing, which is silly because it's pretty expensive to have. You can't like MIDI switch it. That's your setting and you just turn it on or off. So that's the only sound you're gonna pull out of it if you use that setting. That's why everyone uses chorus 1 setting. So that's it. Thank you so much, Andrew, for your immense electronical knowledge and musical knowledge in getting my 1210 back into its glory. That's so awesome. Gang, check out his website, because if you like any of the rack stuff, I mean, that's awesome. And yeah, I'm super psyched. Back into Rackland. All right, gang, thank you for watching. See you later.